Hello and welcome to the December 29th, 2024 episode of Nick's News. I am your host, Nick, brought to you by Some Budget Studios. That's right, we are putting money into this project. We're on every Sunday, and I thank you all so much for tuning in live or catching the replay on the Nick's News Facebook page or the Nick's News YouTube page. That's right, we are simulcasting. Hooray. This is a program dedicated to bringing good news to counter all of the bad news that we are bombarded with on a daily basis, with the hope of bringing a little bit of joy back to the world. Several of our articles are usually pulled from sites like goodnewsnetwork.org and goodgoodgood.co, but we do appreciate everything sent in by you, the viewers. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. It was one thing after another, so there were like 3 failed startups. And then we got going, and I am so sorry for that. That is my bad. This is our last episode of 2024, and of course, it couldn't go off without a hitch. So there was pretty big ones, but we are up and running, and this is going to be a special episode. As I stated, it is the final broadcast of 2024. So instead of doing a normal episode, we are going to do a year in review episode for Nick's News 2024, but not just Nick's News 2024, because we've never done a year in review. We're going to look back at the entire history of Nick's News, and we're going to just sort of see where we started, see where we are, and see where we're going. So this is going to be a really cool episode to discuss the past, the present, and the future of Nick's News with all of you. It's going to be super chill, and then when we get back into things on the 5th of January, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled program. But for all of you, I want to present basically the life in review thus far of Nick's News. We'll start off with our news brew. Those of you that are on the Instagram probably saw it ahead of time. It is a box beer. It is 2023. Which face? There it is. So 2023 Goose Island Bourbon County Cask Finish brand 2-year stout made with their friends at Angel's Envy. This is it's from Goose Island, like I said. This is a 15.5% ABV high-octane beer. It's an Imperial Stout. It's aged in Angel's Envy Kentucky straight bourbon barrels, and it's finished in ruby port wine barrels. It is a special big beer to finish out a special big year. So, hello, Will and Rebecca in the Facebook chat, and thank you, Rebecca, very much for sharing Nick's News. So let's pull our beer out of the box. I was in Massachusetts with my family, and we went to a Friendly's out there. It was a beer and wine store, and I saw 2 of these on the shelf, and I said to myself, I didn't even know it existed. I need to get one, because I absolutely love Goose Island's Bourbon County brand stout. This is an amazing stout. They come out with a couple variants every year. I managed to grab as many as I can. This year, some friends in Chicago even grabbed me a few. I was very appreciative of them for that, so thank you very much. And yeah, we are going to crack this open. Now, this is a big beer. We need the Battle of Song bottle opener. So, ooh. There we go. Being an Imperial Stout, we are going to have this in our Harpoon limited edition snifter. We could really get into some heavy theatrics with this bottle. The theatrics of a 30-second pour. The glug glug of the beer. Oh. I normally don't pour left-handed, I'm realizing. There's probably a reason for that. Oh my, Mr. Bond. This is going to be fantastic. Hey, Ben! Just in time for the beer theatrics. This is going to be such a special episode. While I was writing this up, I got a little choked up because I had to go through my own personal Facebook page where Nick's News began back in 2016. That's right, I've been doing this on and off for 9 years. Or 8 years. Sorry, you'd think I could do math. And it was really interesting to see like my first episodes and everything. And actually, I was wearing this shirt back then, which shows you I don't throw shirts out very often. So I decided to throw it on for good measure. So, all right. Shoutouts that we've got. So first one, Graphics by Ashford, specializes in graphic design, video editing, and effects, and photo editing. Besides being Nick's News' awesome graphics artist, Grayson bills himself as a bomb-ass bitch. You can contact him through Facebook or his Instagram. Links are in our description. To Graphics by Ashford and our graphics artist, Grayson. Cheers. And hello, Riven in the YouTube. Shout out to Nick's Newsie, Julie, for acquiring a new job. Julie has been putting in a ton of work on herself and changing around her career, and it's great to see success come her way finally. So to Julie, one of our Nick's Newsies, cheers and congratulations on the new job. Hey, Tim, in the Facebook chat. Oh my gosh, the wine. The wine comes through so well on this beer. Like the Angel's Envy's there. I've had Angel's Envy. I actually really like Angel's Envy. But the wine on the finish is what's really, really making this beer special. I see the camera shaking a little bit here and there. So, hey, Travis in the Facebook or in the YouTube chat. I got to put in my little presenting bracelet too, with everything that was happening with the. There we go. With the technical difficulties, I didn't even get myself ready for this. So, all right. News quote. And I thought this was a big one, and this kind of sums up the last 8 years of Nick's News. Optimism is a huge asset. We can always use more of it. But optimism isn't a belief that things will automatically get better. It's a conviction that we can make things better. That is from Melinda French Gates, American philanthropist and former multimedia producer, developer, and manager at Microsoft. And one more time for the people in the back. One of the things that I kind of pride myself on is my optimism. Takes a lot to knock that down and knock that out of me. And so, but you have to understand what optimism is. Optimism is a huge asset. We can always use more of it. But optimism isn't a belief that things will automatically get better. It's a conviction that we can make things better. So going into 2025, even if you're not an optimist, at least we can all try to make things better. So thank you very much, Melinda French Gates, and to everybody out there watching Nick's News. Cheers. Oh my gosh. All right, bug update. Elmira is still peacefully napping. Sue has been very standoffish and might be in pre-molt. I'm not quite sure. I'm giving him ample space so I don't stress him out. He's been out and about all day since I started getting ready for Nick's News, so I'm not sure if y'all will be able to see him, but if you do, in the chat, please shout Sue. And again, the spot to watch is this second terrarium, or the second vivarium. That is Sue's house. So if you see a little stinger walking around back there, you see some claws poking out, say Sue in the chat. Ripley's doing really well. I'm going to upgrade Ripley's vivarium as well. Ripley's vivarium is this little one that's sandwiched between the swarm of mantis babies, which is not a swarm anymore, and Sue. I'm going to upgrade Ripley's vivarium to another one about the size of the mantis vivarium. So that's going to be a big project for this next year. Rebecca in the Facebook asks, how are the babies doing? Well, the mantises have dealt with their overpopulation situation in the only way they know possible. Rampant cannibalism. There is only about half a dozen left. And just as we were getting set up, I looked in, and another one had bit the dust and was being bitten to death by one of the other ones. So out of the original 50, we've got about half a dozen, and they continue to battle to be declared the one, Mantis McLeod. So we'll see how this goes. Travis in the YouTube, let's go cannibals. Yup. So that's about how that goes. So, not the best news for them, but hey, it's something. So, with that, with all of our usual stuff out of the way, we're going to get into the year in review. So, Benjamin in the Facebook chat, the mantisoning. The quakening to the mantisoning. Tim, what? Wow. Rebecca's so growing. They are growing, yeah. They look a little bit bigger. They haven't gone through, they may have gone through an initial molt, but we'll see. They look like they're ready to molt again. Julie in the Facebook chat, fine young cannibals. All right. So getting into our year in review, we're going to start with a trip to the past of Nick's News. And not just for 2024 again, it's going to be for all of Nick's News. So I made a lot of bullet points that I'm going to be reading from as I was going through and looking up statistics and everything. And some of you might remember the dawn of Nick's News, because a few of you that are watching were definitely there. So, for starters, Nick's News began back in August of 2016. At the time, it started as a way for me to chat with friends and talk about daily events because I was going back to school at the time. I hadn't been back to school to college in 9 years, and I was going to go back for engineering, an even tougher course than what I was there for initially. So I kind of knew that my social life was about to absolutely die. I'd moved away from everyone as well. I'd gotten a house or an apartment closer to campus. And I was going to lose track of the world around me. So I started doing Nick's News as a way to talk about my life going back to school as a non-traditional, and also just to talk with my friends. And some of you in the chat were on that first episode back in August of 2016. And from there, it was going to be a test of my sanity. I'm an extrovert, and now I was losing my social life, so I needed some new outlet for it, so I made one. Streaming. The official news brew didn't start until August 31st of 2018, so a whole 2 years after. Now, on certain episodes before that point, again, because it started in 2016, I would have a beer while I was chatting with people. And that was about it. But in August 31st of 2018, we had an episode where I stated that every Nick's News I did from then on was going to be the news brew. And it started off as the beer of the news, but it quickly got shortened to just news brew. And our first beer ever, our first news brew ever, was a very tall bottle of Curmudgeon's Better Half, which is a 12.7% ABV old ale from Founders Brewing Company. So we started off with a big beer. Tim in the Facebook chat, me, yes, Tim, you were there when this all started. So that was a great beer to start with, just a big beer. On June 20th of 2019, so another year later, Nick's News changed again for the better, and it went from being a simple way for me to chat with my friends to actually being a purveyor of good news. Leading up to that, there was a lot going on at the time, both in my life and in the lives of my friends and my family. A lot going on in general for the country that I live in, the United States. A lot going on personally. There was a lot of struggles, a lot of hardship from folks, a lot of uncertainty, and maybe a dash or two of depression. And so we'd explored it a little bit, where we'd looked up some good news beforehand. But that episode back in June of 2019, June 20th of 2019, was the decider that we were going to do just good news. There was a lot of input from the viewers, the Nick's Newsies, like Tim, Kendra, Ed, and Ben, and several others. And Nick's News began its shift into the broadcast that we're more familiar with today. There wasn't much structure at the time, but the June 27th, 2019 episode, so the week after that announcement that we were going to start doing just good news, we featured 6 articles of good news, all from goodnewsnetwork.org, and they ranged from a quadrillion-dollar asteroid to Tom Holland and Stephen Colbert helping to rescue puppies. So we really just shot the gamut, and we had stuff from all over the place, but we didn't have much structure to it. That would come later so we didn't have like our 4 major categories. The fire of the good news was lit and it started blazing, and then things quieted down, sadly, because 2020 hit. And for obvious reasons, we didn't have a lot of episodes because there was a lot going on in the world. 2021, though, saw new additions to the broadcast. Oh, puppy rescue from Rebecca in the Facebook chat. So the June 20th, 2021 episode debuted the Shoutout section, and we started shouting out things happening in our friends' and families' lives. The September 26th, 2021 episode debuted the official news quote section, so we started pulling a new quote every episode and presenting that as kind of a theme for the episode. And then in 2022, so now we have gone from 2016, we're just a simple chat. 2019, we're doing good news. 2022, it all starts to ramp up. In 2022, the official Nick's News Facebook page went live. I wanted to start moving all of this off of my personal page because I wanted to start building its own separate entity, which became the Nick's News Facebook page. I didn't want the stuff going on in my personal life to mingle with this new professional thing, or this new fun thing of Nick's News, so I separated the two. And we had our first broadcast on the new page, and that took place on February 13th of 2022. So 6 years later, Nick's News gets its own home and began to grow from there. Finally, on the July 17th, 2022 episode, we had the good news sections. Finally, we've sectioned off our broadcast into the 4 major categories: science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes, and it's been like that ever since. So that took all the way to the middle of 2022 for us to make categories. We're not exactly running a race here. This is a marathon. 2022 was also the most consistent broadcast year, finally. We had 25 good news episodes and 1 breaking news episode that year, so 26 episodes in 2022. Up until that point, it had been like 6 here, 2 there, and then we suddenly had 26 episodes in 1 year. 2023, we stuck to consistency. I had a couple of days out for illnesses or just I wasn't up to doing the news. So we had 24 episodes then. So that's the history. That's the past of Nick's News. I was busy and didn't have producer Donna yet. That is very true. So now, onward to the present. The present of Nick's News. What has 2024 been like? 2024 has been an unbelievable year for us. We have had 31 good news broadcasts, 2 cool news broadcasts, 1 follow-up broadcast, 1 breaking news broadcast, 1 special broadcast, and lastly, 1 year in review broadcast. We have had 37 episodes this year. We have had more than ever before, and 2025, we're going to look to do even more. So 37 episodes in 1 year has been astounding. Producer Donna and graphic artist Grayson, graphics by Ashford, joined us in April of 2024, so early this year, and we produced our brand new banner, which was unveiled in May. We also got huge upgrades to our broadcast in the form of OBS upgrades to using OBS Studio, our timer, our logos, our watermark. Producer Donna and Grayson basically pulled off small miracles to kind of start building Nick's News into a brand. And it's been amazing. And yeah, great consistency considering we didn't go weekly until August of this year. So the June 23rd, 2024 episode was very special for us. We got our new setup utilizing OBS up and running. We had the new, like I stated, we had the new countdown, we had the new credits page. Basically just unbelievable work from producer Donna and graphics artist Grayson, who have been indispensable and have done so much to elevate Nick's News and make it look like a real program. Like it's really something to watch. It's not just me having the screen go, fade in and fade out and playing. I used to play the theme music from my phone. I would be holding it up so hopefully the microphone would catch it. Just from low tech to really good tech. So it's crazy what they've been able to do for us. The Nick's News YouTube was launched in the end of June of this year, 2024. We started simulcasting in September, so it took a little while from when the YouTube page went live to September 1st of 2024 when we got the simulcast episode going. And we uploaded a bunch of previous episodes to YouTube, so we had good content already. Producer Donna, it is worth watching. We just wanted to let the world see it too. Thank you. Sorry, I'm going to wet my whistle with some of this amazing beer. I'm kind of blazing through this. If y'all have questions or anything, by all means, hit me up in the chat. I have so much to talk about with Nick's News. And so much beer to get through. While I wait to see if anything pops up, I'll keep going. So, looking at the numbers of what Nick's News has done over the last 8 years, ever since it started back in 2016, we have had 154 episodes of Nick's News. I didn't know that I'd produced that many. 154 episodes, with only one of those being a pre-recorded. It's bonkers to me. Hey, Mona in the YouTube. Travis, it's been amazing seeing the evolution from streaming for friends to Nick's News. Thank you, Travis. Thank you very much. Travis has been with us for a long time, too. But yeah, 154 episodes. Let that number sink in. From its first day to now, Nick's News has covered 802 articles and follow-ups, with 303 articles alone coming from 2024. We had the most articles ever this year at 303. 802 articles, almost half the articles we've ever done, were from this year alone. So much good news that we otherwise wouldn't be aware of that we've been able to get out. Oh, Tim's already future plotting. Tim, hold those to yourself. Hold those to yourself. We'll get there. Tim, we'll get there. Rebecca, I am glad to be able to watch it. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Rebecca. Tim, we'll get there. Tim's jumping the gun on me. Tim, do you have the script? Do you have the script, Tim? Let me top off my cup here. I can hear Sue walking around back there, actually. I can hear his little claws clicking against the glass. Hold the line, Tim, from Travis in the YouTube chat. Oh, I see him back there. He's at the very back of the tank, so the camera doesn't pick him up. So yeah. Special LARP episode from Rebecca in the Facebook chat. That'd be fun. So we also did our first short this year, the dreaded pumpkin beer video. It was a huge hit in September. I was super happy with the numbers it pulled and how it did. So that was really cool to have a short done. And graphics by Ashford, graphic artist Grayson pushed that one together along with producer Donna. So thank you both very much. Thank you so much for making that short. It's awesome. I can't imagine how the shorts are going to look now that we have a new camera. Oops, I might have let that slip. You didn't catch that from me. We'll get there. Looking at the numbers as well, we managed to hit the goal. Actually, we managed to exceed the goal that I hadn't set out, but I kind of was hoping for. To date, the Knicks News Facebook page is now up, and actually, as of today, is now up to 204 followers and 151 likes. And so we hit the 200 mark. We actually beat it, and today we got another one. So thank you very much to everybody that has followed Knicks News. 204 followers. That is an astounding start in my mind. It's a huge number. I can't thank you all enough. And then the YouTube page, despite being brand new as of this year, is already up to 48 subscribers. So thank you everybody that has gone to the YouTube page and has subscribed. I can't thank you enough for that. Are those numbers counting the producer Donna asking in the YouTube, are those numbers counting the Tuesday Flora and Fauna posts? No. Those numbers are not counting the Flora and Fauna posts. They are counting strictly the articles presented on episodes. I went back through every episode of this year, and I went back through every episode ever and counted how many articles we did. 802 articles, 303 this year. 200 plus party time from Rebecca. Uh-oh. Producer Donna just shouted Sue. Sue's on the loose back there. Oh yeah, he's on the hide. Yep, he's moving. Travis, I see it now. This is Nick live from the Battle of Blacken Gate. The Wizards are throwing fireballs. I repeat, the Wizards are throwing fireballs. Camera cuts out to play along with the LARP. Travis, that's fantastic. Oh yeah, Sue is on the move back there. Yep. My little creepy crawly. Oh, man. So, another big thing, and something I didn't talk about, or I talked about, but I didn't, something I didn't talk about as much like I planned to. We got a huge tech upgrade for the holidays. Our computer, we got a brand new CLX gaming desktop, which is packing a 14900, I believe, an i9 14900. Intel processor. It's also got a 4070 Super NVIDIA graphics card in it. It's got enough hard drive space to take all the episodes of Knicks News and store them on it. But I'm using an external hard drive for that, which we got this year as well. So we've got our Knicks News episodes safe in two places. We upgraded our camera to a brand new 4K camera that we're still, dialing in, but it looks great. We got new monitors. We got the light ring. Like, Knicks News' tech update this year was a dream come true that I was finally able to make happen. And a big component of making it happen was just to do this. Like, we were finding as we were doing the simulcasting that my poor little laptop just was not able to cut it. So I was like, all right, it's time to pull the trigger. And this tech update is for me, but mostly for Knicks News. So I can't wait to, put it to the task moving forward. So now, Julie, as you see in the background, this pirate lurking around. Oh, what did he just do? I think he just fell. I heard him click, and then he fell out of frame. So now, where are we going with all this? The sky is the limit. We've been holding off on a few projects until after we got the big tech upgrade, but now we're going to be expanding our medium. Well, what does that mean? Nick's News will be joining a podcast service, which will be made available on Apple, Spotify, most providers of podcasts for your listening enjoyment. We're going to take the audio tracks from Nick's News. We're going to cut. He fell off his log, then climbed back on. We're going to cut a lot of the like the audio from when I am reading the chat and such, and we're going to constrict it and contain it down to just reading the good news articles, or at least that's the plan. We'll try some things out, but the goal is to branch out into a new medium and do podcasts. We'll take the Nick's News episodes and put them in podcast form, so if you don't want to watch an episode, you can still listen to it, and you can just listen to good news. And it's just another way to get the good news out there. So it's a no-brainer. And we're working on figuring it out, but expect the Nick's News podcast in 2025. Tim, sweet. Yep, you called it, Tim. Another big thing. Rebecca's never heard a podcast before. Well, I hope you will enjoy this one. Doing some likes. So another really big thing, we're gonna have a limited merchandise run. That's right, we're gonna do some Nick's News merchandise. Nothing big, nothing bank breaking either, but we really are looking forward to having the option to hawk some Nick's News merchandise. I don't know what it's gonna be. I have been explicitly forbidden from saying what it is. So you're just going to be as surprised as I am when it comes out. I was told to look at a few things, but otherwise I'm not 100% sure what's going to be available, but I'm looking forward to it. And I hope all of you might be as well. So we'll see how it goes. Producer Donna, the lives will still be more fun. Your interaction is part of the awesomeness. Thank you very much, Producer Donna. Julie, I want a cat article t-shirt. That would be funny if we did the obligatory cat article merchandise. Eliza, I thought this was next week. No, Eliza, you need to read. Like, I post so many times. I set up weekly posts. Donna and I even go over in detail to make sure that they go up on time. You gotta watch our updates. We've been live for... How long have we been live for? Like... 35 minutes? We've already gone through all the past. We're on to the future. Heyo from Gabby. Hi, Gabby. Or Luna. Keychains are always nice. I can't keep a secret. I'm not judging. No judging. No judgy. I not judgy. I enjoying beer. So yeah, we're going to have some merchandise. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to come out in 2025, and I'm looking forward to it. A Bug's Life shirt. That would be funny. Producer Madonna has been doing some amazing work behind the scenes, especially here towards the end of the year. The follow-up episode was all her. Huge round of applause for producer Donna and making the follow-up episode happen. Because she went through and not only dug up good follow-ups, but talked to some of the people involved in those original articles. Went above and beyond. So to producer Donna, thank you so much and cheers for all the work you've put in and all the work that you've told me we may get to do in the future. So the beer, I'll pull the box up because this came in a box. Eliza, just for a reminder, the beer was... Come on, camera. There it is. Goose Island's Cask Finish with Angel's Envy. A Mantis McCloud keychain or magnet from Riven in the YouTube chat. Oh my gosh. The Mantis McCloud keychain. Yes, Eliza, this beer had its own box. It was a box beer, and it is amazing. Description of it is in the description. So on that note, with everything that producer Donna has done, producer Donna in the future is going to be reaching out to folks that are involved with the stories that we tell for potential interviews. We've talked to folks like SB Mowing, Tesla Tree Service, and people who just do good things, and the potential for interviews exists. So, producer Donna, in the future, is hopefully going to be looking to set those up. And then also, in conjunction with that, we are going to try to be doing some collaborations. I can't elaborate too much on that right now, but these collaboration ideas are in the works. So Nick's News is going to be branching out, expanding what it does to produce good news, to find good news and to spread good news. So a lot of stuff in the works for 2025. Hot firefighters. I'm going to have to interview the hot firefighters, aren't I, Donna? Don't say something that isn't nailed down yet. But obviously people are going to want me to interview the hot firefighters from the puppy calendar. I think I saw somebody mention a Sue keychain, too. I love the keychain or a bug named Sue. If we did a bug named Sue, I would hang one like right off of his tank if it wouldn't piss him off, because what limited sight they have is still pretty crazy. So, I don't know where he went. I know he's still walking around in there. But Travis in the YouTube, interview them for scientific reasons, of course. Oh my gosh. Another thing we're going to do, because it went over so well the last time, we're going to do more shorts. We loved the last one. Y'all seem to love the last one. And several of you actually requested that we make more of them. And we're going to take that to heart. So we are going to make more shorts and reels on the way for the Facebook page and the YouTube page. They're funny, they're quick, and they're just little things where we can string together scenes from multiple episodes and just make good, humorous content. So we're going to have more shorts and reels on the way. We're also going to do more specialty shows like the Cool News episode, the follow-ups, and then every year at the end, we'll do a year in review, and it won't be like this. It won't be where we talked about the whole past of Nick's News from 2016 until now. It'll just be, everything that happened that year. So, yeah, it'll just be whatever happens for that whole year. It'll be how many episodes we had, how much good news we found, maybe some toss-ups of what like the best news was or what y'all responded to the most. Maybe how many articles y'all sent in. I could have done a breakdown of like how many episodes is Cassidy and Charlie and Eliza and Kendra and Ed and Tim and Ben and everybody. How many articles have y'all sent in? I didn't want to make it like a competition, but y'all have sent in. I think I could do at the least how many articles everybody sent in, because that was a huge chunk of that 303 articles. That was an enormous chunk of that. Was stuff that all of you sent in, and I couldn't thank you all enough more for that. Christmas cards, Nick's pumpkin beer face on a t-shirt. Okay. Oh, now we don't need that. Magnets. Oh my gosh. I don't know what the merchandise is going to be. It's going to be great. It's now going to be like 40 billion things. This is gonna be great. Um, we're even still expanding. Like, my sister-in-law gave me her Stream Deck. I don't know if it's gonna. Can I hold it up high enough? Nope. So this is a Stream Deck, and the cord's pretty short for it. But what this little guy is it's just a series of buttons I can hit, and I can run the whole broadcast. So I'm not clicking around with my mouse and fumbling with things or the scenes. I can just click things on the Stream Deck now. So we're still upgrading. We're still blowing things up. We're still just making this awesome. The entire t-shirt can be his face with his iconic pose on the back of the shirt. Thanks, Travis. Hey, Speak Geek. I mean, we might need that. You don't know. Stream Decks are so handy. I've had one and it's been a life changer, from Luna in the YouTube chat. Luna, I just set it up today, and I was like thumbing through it, and I'm like, man, I can't believe I didn't have one of these beforehand. This is an awesome little piece of tech, and on future episodes, it's going to do some things. It might make some things happen during the episode. So we'll see moving forward. The card friends don't let friends drink pumpkin beer. Oh, the card is friends don't let friends drink pumpkin beer. Oh my god, Julie, I love that. Riven got one for Christmas. Very cool, Riven. Very cool. Man, cheers to all of you. Thank you all so much for tuning in for our big year-end review, where I've just gotten to rant about the history of Nick's News and where we're going. Like, this has been crazy. Especially after we had like 3 rounds of technical difficulties. That's how you know we do it live. So last thing I have listed for my bullets is much, much more. We're going to expand the reach of joy and good news that we present. We're going to keep blowing this up. I'm going to start boosting posts on Facebook. I appreciate all of you for getting the word out for Nick's News, and I'm going to do the same. And I'm going to try to keep pushing this so we can keep expanding, keep figuring out the algorithms, and keep just flooding as much joy and good news out into the world as we can in the coming year. 2025, I want to make even bigger for Nick's News. So I want to push how much we have going. I want to push our reach, and just counter all that bad news that we're bombarded with. You know, have this little light that we can keep growing and expanding. So it wouldn't be a professional stream without a technical difficulty somewhere. Means you've made it. Thank you, Speak Geek, on YouTube, on the YouTube chat. Gratitude journals that have the Good News logo on them, because good news reminds us of all the things we are thankful for, from Eliza in the Facebook. Julie, I miss these people chat broadcasts with you. Those were some of my favorite episodes. Huh. Maybe that's something we need to bring back too. Maybe that's something we can do in 2025. Maybe like in the middle of the week, we can do, maybe we can do these personal ones. It's not a bad idea. I miss these, like, people chat broadcasts. Maybe during the middle of the week, like between episodes, I'll do just like a little thing where we chat for like 30 minutes or an hour. I could maybe work the time in to do that. We'll discuss it more and see if we can make it happen. But I really like that idea, Julie. Kind of going back to how Nick's News used to be. Where we started back in 2016, where all of us were just chatting on a Facebook page as I was streaming from a really simple like 720 webcam. Actually, I was streaming from the built-in 720 webcam on my old laptop, not the newer laptop, the old laptop. And oh my gosh, And that's fine. You don't have to say sorry. Every other week, I don't think every other week, we do a chat feed on the Sundays, because our whole goal for Sundays is to just go forward with the good news. So we're going to be sticking to the every Sunday broadcast of good news. But that doesn't mean we can't find a way to fit just chat episodes in now and then. So we'll do more talking about it amongst the team. I obviously don't want to say anything without talking to them about this. It's not, because that wouldn't be so much work with the articles, it would just be us chatting. So we like the inspiration and feedback. Yep, from producer Donna. We'll figure it out. Gaming Tuesdays, where you just play social games and just hang out and chat, from Travis in the YouTube. Travis, my sister-in-law, actually streams. She games and streams on Twitch, and she was telling me with this fancy new rig I should do Twitch streaming again, and I should do Twitch gaming and then plug Nick's news, but we are not getting into that right now. So yeah, producer Donna is kind of, see me, I live in the clouds, and producer Donna lives in reality. Probably won't be weekly since my schedule is pretty bonkers. We'll see what we can do. Nick's news, gaming, and chatting. All right, these are good thoughts. We will have to work on these throughout the year. These are not going to be instant anything. I've been thinking about streaming on Twitch again. You should go for it. Travis, I don't want to. I abhor the streaming practices of Twitch and how it treats its creators. I do watch people on Twitch. Orpheus Kine, the friendliest pirate on the seas in the Sea of Thieves. Mort Dog, he's the senior designer of the game TFT, or the senior design director for TFT from League of Legends. I watch his streams. Who else do I watch on Twitch? I watch all the Halo championships on Twitch, but I'm just not going to be a Twitch streamer. I really just have not been a fan with Twitch, so I'm not going to be doing Twitch streaming. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to hop in and play games with people on Twitch, so we'll look into that. Like, there's no reason that I can't, have my voice going, but I don't think I'm going to be Twitch streaming all that much. But thank you. And yeah, producer Donna just said this in the Facebook chat, and I'll parrot it. I'm going to drink some beer real quick to wet my whistle. You guys can always message us anytime that you have an idea. And if you're going to do that, send those messages to the Nick's News Facebook page messenger, or send it to our email at somebudgetstudios@gmail.com. It's in the description for the episodes. Message that stuff there, because we look at that and we read all of it. Luna, I don't blame you. I stream on Twitch even towards the hate on VTubers lately. Yep. So, if these ideas, like everything that y'all are saying here, to get it to stick, message us. The Nick's News Facebook page messenger on Facebook, or emails at somebudgetstudios@gmail.com, and I'll actually post that right here. I'll post it. I'm going to copy that over, and I'm going to post that to both of the chats. That is our email. Send these ideas to that. Send these ideas to that and to the Nick's News Facebook page messenger. Because we'll see it there. Like, we can go through the chat and we go through the comments, we go through and we reread all this. But the best place to send us stuff and to chat with us is on those two areas. The Nick's News Facebook page messenger and somebudgetstudios@gmail.com. That way, it's going to get seen. And we're going to be able to, if we get a lot of shout-outs for something or a lot of suggestions for something, we're going to be more likely to act on it then. But we need that kind of inspiration. We need to see how much desire there is for stuff like that. So send that stuff in there so we can see it and so we can catalog it. And I'm a guy. I'm an engineer. I love numbers. I love seeing numbers, because when I have numbers, it actually makes sense to me. The weight of something makes sense when you see the number on it. So if we get like 6, 7, 8 people who are all saying, hey, could you do this? We're more likely to do that thing. So I would really appreciate it if you all sent that kind of stuff to the Nick's News Facebook page, Messenger, or the email, somebudgetstudios@gmail.com. And we'll go from there with that. Eliza, send me some snow first. My kid wants to have a proper snowball fight before he has to go back to school. Well, let's look at the forecast. What can I do? What can the weather wizard do? For Michigan, what have we got? So, it looks like come Wednesday through Sunday, Michigan may be back in snow territory. We'll see what we can do. Oh, I really like that. Liars figure, but figures don't lie. There's a quote from, like, I think it was the first Pacific Rim episode, or the first Pacific Rim movie, or aka the only Pacific Rim movie, where it was like, numbers are as close as we get to the handwriting of God. And I went bonkers for that quote, because it's like, yeah, I love numbers, and it makes sense. Do I need to rev up the Kaylee bug for some bug romancy? Well, Julie, for Eliza's son, yeah. Yeah, you do. That's about it. We have done a year in review, a life in review of Nick's News. Started in August of 2016 when I went back to college. Has now progressed to an amazing broadcast program with a team, with animation, with graphics, and with a producer who has turned this into a whole new beast for joy and good news. Man. And now we have 2025 to look forward to. And I hope you all will come with us on the journey to spreading joy and good news. Y'all have made this channel what it is. I couldn't be more thankful for every single one of you. And I hope that you'll stick with us as we move forward and just try to spread joy and good news. So, can't wait to hear the 10 years of Nick's News in review. Well, come 2026, we'll have to do 10 years of good news. I'm looking forward to that too. Thank you all again for tuning in or catching the replay on the Nick's News Facebook page or the YouTube page. Again, we're live every Sunday, and our next episode will be a normal broadcast on January 5th of 2025. I will probably be wearing some nice 2025 glasses or a hat, who knows. I encourage participation, so if you feel inclined, and I highly suggest this, if you want to send us messages or post suggestions for news brews, shoutouts, news quotes, or good news articles that we can present on future episodes, or even styles of future episodes, send those to the Nick's News Facebook page, to the Nick's News Instagram page, or to somebudgetstudios@gmail.com. If you send articles, I do appreciate a variety of articles spread out across our 4 categories, and those categories are, as always, science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes. Well, I mean, as of 2019, when we started doing the 4 categories, so if you spread out the articles across those categories, I greatly appreciate it. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment on our Facebook and YouTube videos. To get the good news and joy into the algorithm. We're still figuring this out, but we broke records this year, and I can't wait to see what we do in 2025. I can't thank you all enough, and I'm never going to tell you to do anything, but I can tell you that I appreciate every like, every subscribe, every comment. I appreciate you all for all of it so much. So thank you to all of you. Cheers. And lastly, as always, thank you again. I love you all. It has been a great night and a great year, a great 8 years. And I'm looking forward to 2025 with all of you. So with that, I thank you all again, and I will play us out.